Party concluded its 10th regular session. And from abroad, Algeria's Teflika asks forgiveness. Hello to you all. This is Oromia Broadcasting Network English News Service and Addis Ababa. Here is the first one. The Somali Democracy Party has elected Ahmed Shide, chairperson, and Mustafa Muhammad Omar as deputy chairperson of the party in its regular session. In its 10th regular session, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, who attended the occasion, called on Somali politicians, scholars, religious leaders, and all sections of society to join hands and work towards developing the region and country. Tamazge Mulatu has the story.
The 10th regular session of the Somali Democracy Party has been concluded by electing Ahmed Shide and Mustafa Muhammad Umar as the chairperson and deputy chairperson of the party, respectively. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who attended the session, said the people of the region has contributed a lot for the unity of the country. The Premier, in his keynote, addressed the need to have single ruling party in the country.
አንድ ሀገራዊ ፓርቲ ያስፈልጋል ስንል የሶማሌ ማንነት
Having one national ruling party means not to say suppressing the identity of nationalities and peoples of the country, but to more strengthen norms, values, language, and cultures of the nation which they are struggling for. And with the spirit of Madamar or synergy, we want to transform the country. Dr. Abiy appreciated the name of the party that has been changed to Somali Democracy Party and said it is an indicator of the region's people's commitment to transform the country.
ከዛሬ በኋላ ሚዲያዎቻችን የፖለቲካ አመራሮች
After today, our media and politicians never use the name Ethio-Somali, just Somali region. As I was said before, Somali people have paid great sacrifice as its brothers. For instance, these people have the lion's share in protecting the country from Somalian invasion. The Premier urged the people of the region to actively participate in the current political situation of the country.
የተማሩ ሰዎች ወደ ፖለቲካ ማስገባታችሁ መልካም ጅምር ሆኖ ለሶማሌ ዴሞክራቲክ ፓርቲ
Involving scholars in your politics is a good beginning, but you have to come to the central politics. This means do not limit your politics only in Jigjiga. Come and join us at Finfinne. You have to struggle for this. Prime Minister Abiy has also said the following to smoothen the relationship of the neighboring country.
የኢትዮጵያ አቋም የሶማሊላንድና የሞቃዲሾ ጭቅጭቅ ሳይሆን
Ethiopia's stand on the East African peace, especially Hargeisa and Mogadishu, should come together for the future of Somalia. Therefore, for the unity of this nation, Ethiopia will stand by the side of them.
Ministry of Urban Development and Construction expressed support for actions urban centers are taken against illegal urban land grabbing. The Oromia Land Use and Administration Bureau has offered awareness-raising training on how to modernize land management in urban centers. Here is Muktaraji for the story.
Administering land resource with knowledge and using modern technology is a recent barrier that has been challenging the land management authority in Ethiopia. The problem is mainly rooted in urban centers of the country. The Oromia Land Management and Administration Bureau has offered a training for the professionals working on the problem dictated up. Some participants of the training voiced that if the laws and the regulation enacted by the government will be implemented properly, it would minimize land grabbing and misuse.
Rather than showing illegality as it is being illegal working on issues being sided to a particular group is explicitly observed in the country. My question is, why laws and proclamations are not properly implemented or changed if not significant?
Head of the Oromia Land Management and Administration Bureau, Dr. Milkesa Midaga, for his passad, his bureau has been managing the land resource using modern technology.
The main problem of land management in Oromia is a problem of managing urban land resource. If we want to avoid problems related with it every leaders at all levels should work on it effectively.
Tazay Xavier, State Minister of Urban Land Management and Construction, said lack of capacity to manage land resource has been seen in the country. He said his ministry would support the action taken against illegal land grabs in the region.
ሚኒስቴር መስሪያ ቤታችን መሬት መተላለፍ ያለበት
The ministry believes the land to be transferred only based on the proclamation and laws existed. Other form of land transferring process is illegal, and this is the land we had that we have been announced through the media were refused to announce it with having their own agendas to disseminate. We strongly support the action taken by the government in Lagatafo Lagadari against illegal constructions.
Minister of Transport Dagmawit Mogas said the pilots who were recommending Flight ET-2/10 March have followed the Boeing recommended and FAA-approved emergency procedures to handle the plane. The Ministry of Transport released a preliminary report on Ethiopian Airlines accidents. Lata Teres has more on this.
Ethiopian Ministry of Transport has briefed media on the preliminary report about the country's airline accident. Minister of the Transport Dagmawit Mogas has stated the initial findings of the investigation as follows.
The initial findings of the investigation on the basis of initial information gathered during the course of investigation, the following facts have been determined. Number one, the aircraft possessed a valid certificate of airworthiness. The second one, the crew obtained the license and qualifications to conduct the flight. And third, the takeoff roll appeared very normal. And the fourth one is the crew performed all the procedures repeatedly provided by the manufacturer, but was not able to control the aircraft.
According to her, safety recommendations have been forwarded by the investigation team and the preliminary report.
Initial information gathered during the course of investigation, 2 safety recommendations has been forwarded in the preliminary report. The first one is, since repetitive uncommanded aircraft nose-down conditions are noticed in this preliminary investigation, it is recommended that the aircraft flight control system related to the flight controllability shall be reviewed by the manufacturer. And the second one is, aviation authorities shall verify that the review of the aircraft flight control system related to flight controllability has been adequately addressed by the manufacturer before release of the aircraft to operations.
The minister said detailed report about the accident will be announced to the international community within the next 1 year.
White House advisor Ivanka Trump will visit Ethiopia this month. In Ethiopia, she will have a site visit and a meeting with political leaders, executives, and female entrepreneurs. She will also travel to Ivory Coast to attend a Women's Economic Empowerment Summit, according to AFP. It will be Ivanka Trump's first visit to Africa since the White House undertook the Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative in February. Ivanka Trump's trip to Africa is part of her effort to promote global women's initiative she's leading. Ivanka Trump says the goal is to economically empower 50 million women in developing countries by 2025, FEBC website reported. Fairfax Africa Fund LLC Global Chairman Zamadna Nigatu said Ethiopia is playing a central role in cementing regional integration. Oluma Baine has compiled Ina's report.
Fairfax African Fund Limited Liable Company Global Chairperson Zamadena Nigatu said the new Ethiopian leadership has registered remarkable achievements in creating peaceful and stable East and Horn of Africa, which is a very significant step to integrate and economically benefit people of the countries in the region. The new leadership has been taking a central role in consolidating relations and integrating the region, Zamadena told the Ethiopian news agency, adding that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed hosted and visited most of the leaders of East and Horn of African countries to push for peace and stability after peace accord with Eritrea. According to him,
over the last several months, I think a great deal of effort has been made to harmonize relationship, to normalize relationships. The most significant one is the relationship between Ethiopia and Eritrea.
He believes that the peace accord with Eritrea has contributed to the regional stability and economic ties. The normalization of relations with Eritrea is indicating economic significance after Ethiopian Airlines resumed flight to Asmara, and pretty soon Ethiopians will start using Eritrean ports. Besides, Ethiopia has played a central role to mediate countries in the region to facilitate economic integration after Ethio-Eritrean peace accord. Furthermore, Zamadena underlined the dividend of peace in the region to attract investments.
And also speaking from a global perspective, from a global multinational investors perspective, they would like to see they don't like to see a country by country investments, which is very expensive. So when they see the whole region, 8, 10, 12 countries, stable, reliable, welcoming, then these big investors will be more comfortable to invest significant sums, maybe in one of the countries, maybe in the two countries, but servicing all of them, which benefits all of them.
According to Zamadena, economic growth of a given country has a positive effect on its neighboring country's economy because of the proximity. Quote, take a look at Djibouti, he explained. Ethiopia's economy has continued to make Djibouti's economy grow. It positively affects and will continue to positively affect other neighboring countries with the way things are progressing now. As a diplomatic seat of the African Union and other regional organizations, and with its dominant economy and role on regional organizations, Ethiopia is striving to stabilize and consolidate relations and economic ties in East and Horn of African region.
Residents of Badale town have witnessed that Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has brought about drastic change across the nation since coming to power a year ago. Lata Teresa has a story.
Residents of Bedele town witnessed that Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has brought political reforms since he took office in April of 2018.
Dr. Abiy has registered tremendous change so far. The progress made by Prime Minister administration has been applauded by world community.
The residents appreciated the effort of Dr. Abiy's leadership in returning the political organizations that were in exile for a long time, adding political prisoners have also been released.
The normalization between Ethiopia and Eritrea was unthinkable, but now Dr. Abiy unified us. The government has released the prisoners. I believe he brought dramatic change.
The residents have also lauded the effort of the Prime Minister's government in ensuring media freedom. The residents of Bedele town asked the government to take legal measures against conspirators who have been attempting to deter the ongoing reform.
Some folk groups organize conspiracy to create conflict among our people, aiming to realizing their agenda of bringing chaos. The government should take legal measures against those forces to sustain the peace of our country.
The news comes to life from Oromia Broadcasting Network English News Service. And now moving to international news. Outgoing Algerian President Abdulaziz Bouteflika has asked his country for forgiveness in a letter published by the Algeria Press Service. The president, who has been in power for 20 years, said